Welcome to The Hook, episode 53. Offload, over the shoulder, tackle, right. All right, so let's get into it. Week 10 of Major League Rugby saw what I called an upset. Not really. It wasn't an upset at all. Utah defeated the Houston Sabercats 31-27. It was my upset because I had Houston myself. But then the San Diego definitely upended the undefeated Glendale Raptors 23-5. Looking at these matches, man, Don Patty is a man on fire for the Utah Warriors. He's able to do things that other men don't seem to be able to. He's able to find holes. Basically, don't kick it to him. He's not a kicking fullback. He is a sprinting fullback, and he will slice and dice your backline. Another player that slices and dices is the wing himself. He came back. He is in town. Tadgh Leader. He did not get on the score sheet this week like he did last week, but what he did do was cut through that back line and provide others the opportunity to score. And what did we see? A line out with a long pass to Tadgh Leader. He, with Tonal Lauti, sliced right up along the touch line and got to a point where he got tackled. He offloaded to Tonal Lauti, who then turned on the extra burners and scored the final try for the Utah Warriors, pretty much sealing the deal. One of the things that we've seen that Houston has struggled with, if they get outscored in the last with there being about 15 minutes left, they're able to get down the pitch, but they're not able to convert. They're allowing defenses to dictate to them and even push them back, which I think they will be able to deal with that later on next season as they continue to train. But Utah took the spot away from the Austin Elite for the playoffs. So they're pretty dangerous. They score a lot of points. They're the highest scoring team in the competition. Think about that. They score the most points. They will face off as the 4 seed against the Glendale Raptors. Going to the other game, San Diego versus Glendale. There were some things I didn't like. I talked about this on Monday on a Year Full of Dirt. A, I think San Diego should have won by more. B, I think they should have gotten penalized a lot in the scrum and on more lineouts. There's a lineout where Ryan Matias ends up being a benefactor and scoring a tough but awesome try through 2 guys. And it's just like nothing was going to stop him playing from the inside center position, playing in the centers, rather. But the lineout was like 3 meters to the left off the channel. It wasn't even in the tunnel. So, there were some reffing things that I had question about, but none of those would have had anything to do with how this game went. Glendale couldn't hold on to the ball, and it was a cool, dry night in San Diego. It wasn't super wet. They just knocked it on and knocked it on and knocked it on and knocked it on. And this is where I'm like, San Diego, you need to convert some of this. And San Diego didn't convert nearly as many of their opportunities as they could have. What we saw was a duel between fly halves and Maximo Deashval and Tadgh Leader. Maximo just didn't have the same leg as Tadgh Leader did. Tadgh was able to put his ball on the touchline about 10 to 15 meters ahead of where Maximo Deashval was able to. So that was a little bit concerning there. And, we're finally seeing the Legion come out, and they still have some guys missing due to injury and playing with the Eagles, Nate Augsburger, Dylan Owdsley, and Cam Dolan. But they've come together as a group, and they've grown. And, they are now the 3 seed. So they're playing really good rugby. I think when they get those guys back, they will play even better rugby, which actually makes them a tough out for the Seattle Seawolves. Seattle Seawolves get all 4 of their guys back in Ali Khalifi, Vili Tolutau, and Phil Mack, and what was it, 5 guys actually, Brock Stoller and Raymondo Barkwell himself. So I think for the most part, those guys will affect Seattle a lot more than San Diego's will, which, should make that match the match to watch, which is the first match of the MLR Championship Series in Glendale, which I will be at, which will be pretty awesome. And check that out. MLR has also announced that they will be doing a live show tomorrow night, so that will be pretty cool. When it comes to this, though, it's like, how did these games go? And it was really back and forth with Houston versus Utah, and it was one-sided domination, even with some of the bad calls that San Diego, benefited from. One of the things you look at is their defense. If you look at the possession, possession was in favor of the Raptors. They had possession and territory by 60%. Think about that. They could not score. That's how good this defense is. And right now, which says a lot about what Coach Hoadley has been able to do. He's a defensive specialist. He was a defense coach for Wasps. He was a defense coach for Wales under 20s. And that's something really to look at. So let's look at this playoff picture. The Legion play the Seawolves first. The Seawolves attack is a bi-level pod system. You have basically you're running two forwards with a back attached to them. It allows you to be more situational with how you call things off the ruck and off the scrum. And, with San Diego, I've seen a few different things. I've seen some 2-4-2, I've seen some 1-3-2-2, and I've seen some 1-3-3-1. So I haven't really gotten it down. Maybe I'll back Rob Hoadley and Chris Cracknell into a corner this weekend, and I will say, tell me what offensive system you're running and give me the book so I can install it myself. But really, they're playing some really good rugby and putting the ball down the pitch, attacking rugby. I think like we're seeing what's going on with the Eagles. I think with the way this is going to go, I want to pick the Seawolves, but I'm not going to. I'm going to pick in a barn burner. I'm going to pick the Legion. I think I said by 3. I'm going to pick the Legion by 3. Well, now let's look at the other match. Yes, Utah is also pretty hot. They're in the playoffs, but Glendale's not going to play like they did last week. They're getting all 6 of their Eagles back. At least 5 of them will start for the Raptors. They're getting their starting scrum half back, so that puts Maximo back at the fullback position, so that gives you 2 kicking threats in the back line. And then you're getting Bryce Campbell back, which should push Mika Cruze to the bench or to the wing. And then you're going to get your starting hooker, which should allow you to use Zach Fenoglio in a few different ways. Overall, I'm going to go Raptors -10. I think they're going to win comfortably even, probably by 15 points. And but it's going to be physical. Yet the attack for the Utah Warriors will be stymied. So that's Aaron Castro for The Hook, episode 53. Wow. See you guys next week.